Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is your sneak peek at next week with just Kyle today, because Drew is off on one of his little vacations, so we're just going to have me for your sneak peek this week. I just wanted to make sure I jumped in and told you what to pick up in your local comic book shops. June 14th, 2017. We are into the middle of June, episode number 382 of the podcast. So, without Drew here, we don't have any feedback from the listeners. We don't yet have a top 10 from Comic-Con to see how May was shaken out. So, we're just going to jump into the meat of why you should or shouldn't be in your LCSs this coming Wednesday. So, let's head on over to previewsworld.com. Let's look for June 14, 2017, and let's start in Dark Horse, where we always love to start. Of course, the thing that jumps to the top is Briggs Land, Lone Wolves #1. Of course, Briggs Land, the Brian Wood written story, and this starts kind of their second chapter, their next version of it. I think it went 6 or 8 on the first one. I can't remember. I've read through 5, I think. It's good. Always like Brian Wood's writing. Of course, this being developed for AMC, so it's always good to keep up on those properties that are heading towards other mediums. So, Brian Wood critically acclaimed series returning for the next chapter in an even more relevant post-election America. So, Brian Wood, art by Mark Chatter, with Matthew Woodson on our cover on that one. So, Briggs Land, Lone Wolves #1. Should be one of those rare things I'm reading from Dark Horse, so that's a good thing. Of course, first thing Drew would be pointing out if he were here would be Harrow County from Colin Budd, episode number 24. Colin Budd and Tyler Crook on our pretty cool little cover of a old lady with a mason jar lit on fire on the front of it. So, yeah, he's big into that Harrow County. Let's see here. What else does Dark Horse have in store for us this week? American Gods Shadows #4. Of course, this is by Neil Gaiman and P. Craig Russell, with art on this one by Colleen Doran, Scott Hampton, and B. Craig Russell. During an overnight stay at their home, Shadow awakens to a visit from the third of the Zoria sisters, Zoria Polyankanaya. The Midnight Sisters' advice is eternal and strange, yet vital, and Shadow can't seem to separate reality from the dream world. The Hugo, Bram Stoker, Locust World Fantasy, and Nebula award-winning novel and upcoming Stars television series by Neil Gaiman adapted as a comic book series for the first time. So this is going to be a Stars TV show. So I'm behind on this one as well, but I enjoyed the first one. So Neil Gaiman's American Gods and Shadows #4. So a couple things from Dark Horse that are interesting. Let's see, Plants vs. Zombies, Predator vs. Judge Dredd vs. Aliens, that 3-way crossover, Shadows on the Grave, 2 neighborhood. So, yeah, that's it for me for Dark Horse. Like I said, Briggs Land, Lone Wolves #1, completely piques my interest there. It's a good one there. And, of course, #4 from Neil Gaiman's American Gods, Shadows #4. Alright, then we're going to head on down to DC and see what they have to offer us this week. Action Comics 891 as we head closer and closer and closer to Action Comics 1000. Of course, Dan Jurgens writing action. Haven't read too much action in a while, so I'm not your expert on that one, unfortunately. But a nice little cover A there. Very interesting. A little more General Zod in that one. Let's see. Dark Days of the Forge #1. Remember this from our previews. Of course, we have Scott Snyder writing with James Tynion IV, art by Andy Kubert and John Romita, and a cover by Scott Williams, and we got Jim Lee on another cover. So $5. This is a big one here. Darkness comes to the DC universe with the mysteries of the Forge. Aquaman, The Flash, and more of DC's pantheon of heroes suspect Batman of hiding a dark secret that could threaten the very existence of the multiverse. In an epic that will span generations, but how does it connect to the origins of one of the DC's most legendary heroes? The great comic event of summer 2017 is about to begin, courtesy of a superstar writer Scott Snyder and James Tynion III. I don't know who James Tynion III is. I'm familiar with James Tynion IV. I think that's a typo on previous world. And illustrated by a masterclass of comic artists Andy Kubert, Jim Lee, and John Romita Jr. You do not want to miss out. So this is a no-brainer. Writers Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV. We've got Batman, Dark Days, The Forge. So yeah, from DC, $5. I don't get a page count, but I think this is a little oversized. But yeah, very intriguing. Something seems quite original. Really cool Kubert cover on that. Really cool Romita variant on that as well. So yeah, don't miss that. That's going to be pretty rad. It'll be the first thing I read that week. Detective 958 as it continues towards 1,000. Flash is in its running scared. It looks like we have a Green Lanterns crossover with the Flash. So that should be pretty fun. Some interesting things happening there. Sorry, I was just looking at variant cover on that and seeing. Justice League is on 8. Legions of the Superhero and Bugs Bunny. We've started the crossovers. So we've got Legion of the Superhero with Bugs Bunny. I'm not sure how well these are going to do. I don't believe I ordered any of them. They should be fun. They should be interesting. The next one actually kind of piqued my interest. Martian Manhunter, Marvin the Martian. Say that 5 times fast. Special number 1. Martian Manhunter tries to halt Marvin the Martian's determination for world domination. Okay. So yeah, those should be interesting little fun crossover stories. Let's see, do we have any other? Okay, we just have... Looks like we just have the 2 of them this week. You know, Bugs Bunny and Marvin the Martian this week. So those should be fun. I'm intrigued to maybe look at them, but they didn't pop too much on my radar, but they look like something kind of neat. Scooby-Doo Apocalypse is on issue number 14 now. I could not handle it. I did not stick around for that one. So no hipster Scooby-Doo for me. Suicide Squad 19. Supergirl 10. Steve Orlando writing that. Escape from the Phantom Zone Part 2. So it's on its second issue of its Escape from the Phantom Zone storyline. Superwoman 11. Titans 12. I need to get back on that one. There was no reason I stopped reading that one. It just didn't keep up on that one. It looks quite good. I have to jump back in on that one. Wonder Woman 24. Of course, Wonder Woman all the rage with the success of the movie. So here we have Godwatch Epilogue. Of course, written by Rocco with Bill Case Evely on art. I'm not sure how to say that first. Bilquis, the first name on that one. With Godwatch's purpose fulfilled, Diana and Kale are forced to confront the choices of the past and a new direction for the future. So yeah, looking forward to that. Of course, Rucka writing that. I've enjoyed quite a bit of the Wonder Woman stuff going forward. Of course, Jenny Frison on the cover beads. They've all been really super good. Man, she does good work. So all kinds of neat stuff coming out in DC. Of course, the biggest thing, Dark Days, The Forge, #1. That's the big one. All right, let's head on down and see what IDW has in store for us this week. Sorry, just take a little drink. Man, there's just unfortunately nothing on my radar for IDW. I know some people were excited about 24, Christopher Farnsworth, but not into that. But some people, like I said, #2 of 5 on that one. So if you're into the 24 TV show and can't wait to get more, there's your great options right there. And Donald Duck, Helena Crash, Gem and the Holograms, My Little Pony, Optimus Prime, Revolution Ares, TMNT ongoing, yeah. So IDW is a big old swing and a miss for me this week. Nothing in my mind worth snagging or going in for. But here we have we have gone through IDW, and here we have our good friends at Image. Let's see what Image has for us. And here we have after a long wait, we have the Bitch Planet triple feature #1. This is not written by Kelly Sue DeConnick and Delandro. This is, let's see, we have writers Cheryl Lynn Eaton, Andrew Idea, and Conley Lyons on writing. We've got art by Maria Frolic and Juan Estep on this. So we have, looks like 3 separate smaller stories in this one for $3.99. So essentially people are now just writing stories within the Bitch Planet world. So we have ripped directly from the world of Bitch Planet. A crack team of creators spin 3 teeth-clenching tales of rage, revolution, and ridicule, plus essays, letter columns, and more. 100% grade A satire, except no substitutes. So, of course, Bitch Planet is kind of the society where if you're tired of your wife, you can just send her off to a prison planet. So, I know that similar to Sex Criminals in this way, the letters column and the essays and the stuff in the back has grown to be almost as much as the actual title. So, intriguing what they're doing by kind of reformatting this and having guest writers and artists do it, but just kind of keep it in that network or keep it in that world, because I know Kelly Sue and the other artists were not doing a good job keeping up on that one. I think the last one that came out that we had anything from Bitch Planet was like 4 or 5 months behind, if I remember correctly. So they're trying different things, it looks like. Of course, Pride Month variants beginning to come out as well, and Bitch Planet having one of those as well. Black Cloud #3, of course, Jason Latour and Ivan Brandon on that one. That's been fun. I read the first one, so intrigued there to continue on today. Let's see, Birthright. Copperhead 14, I know Drew had started on this one. This latest arc. I read the very first arc, and it's a nice little society, but I did not read this latest one. Episode 14. Of course, my big thing this week is the end of Max Landis' Green Valley #9. Of course, Max Landis writing, Cliff Rathburn on art, and Giuseppe Camuncoli doing our cover. This is the miniseries finale, the giant-sized finale. The Knights of Caledonia were once the finest in the land until they faced the Wizard of Green Valley. Now their epic, time-bending quest comes to a close in this extra-sized issue, and history will never be the same again. Of course, I'm a fan of this, fan of Max Landis, so very much looking forward to how this finishes up, buttons up that really, really interesting time travel series, and I cannot wait, and I'm super, super, super excited for issue number 9. We, of course, have Kill the Minotaur number 1, $3.99, written by Chris Pacedo and Christian Caltamesa. Let's see here. Athens lost the war to Crete. Now they pay tribute to King Minos by sacrificing their best citizens to his unearthly labyrinth. Let's see here. So yeah, this seems very cool, based in mythology, it looks like. So Kill the Minotaur. So looks like kind of an interesting one. I've pre-ordered, I think, 2 of these just because I'm interested in it. It's kind of a neat little premise, so we shall see where that goes. Of course, Chris Pacedo and Christian Caramesa on writing for that. Kill the Minotaur number 1. Manifest Destiny number 29, continuing to trickle out, because I know this one's late because it also has Spawn Month covers attached to it. There was some heat or buzz behind, I think it was the injection one last one, just kind of neat, but it already cooled, so not a whole lot behind some of the Spawn Month covers, but continuing to come out through that. And if I remember, the Manifest Destiny one was kind of neat looking. Regression number 2 coming out, and a second print for the very first one right there beside it. Rose number 3 covers A and B coming out. Oh, I'm sorry, A, B, and it has a Pride cover as well on cover C. And we have, okay, I don't remember this one too much. Okay, now that I look at the title, I do. Winnebago Graveyard number 1 from Steve Niles and Allison Sampson on a series premiere. An American family traveling on vacation find themselves stranded in a small town with a sinister secret. Yeah, I thought that sounded kind of interesting. Oddly enough, like looking at the font and kind of the way the front is set up on cover A, I was like, intriguing. I'm not sure what to think about that one. And then, of course, cover B is Ming Helena Chen on that, and a completely different vibe from cover B on that one. So I'm not completely sure what to think on that one. I do have some intrigue on that one. I did order one just out of pure, just kind of curiosity. So Winnebago Graveyard number 1, Image Comics. We will see what that is, but I don't know a lot about that one, so I'm going to go in a little bit blind, which may be a good thing for Winnebago Graveyard. So 2 number 1s from Image this week, if you don't count the relaunch of Bitch Planet. It's also number 1. Of course, it's triple feature. We've got, like I said before, Kill the Minotaur number 1, the big one, and Winnebago Graveyard number 1, the other one. So those are the biggest things popping on Image. So yeah, so a neat little week for Image. All kinds of neat stuff coming out. The culmination of one of their big series, like I said, Green Valley, the continuation of things like Black Cloud, and then Bitch Planet, Winnebago Graveyard, and Kill the Minotaur number 1. The new things coming out from them. Alright, so good week from Image. Let's see what else we got here. Head on down to Marvel. All new Wolverine 21, of course, Tom Taylor. Wolverine races for a cure. The strange alien disease is spreading quickly, and scientists are no closer to a cure than they were when the spaceship crash landed. With a population rapidly falling to the illness, Laura will have to turn to former allies and new friends to save the day. So, of course, like I said, Tom Taylor knocking it out of the park. Can't wait. We got Iron Man in this one, so I'm not sure if that's Riri in the suit or what's going on there. I assume that's Riri Williams in the suit, so we shall see what this has in store for us. Renew Your Vows on issue 8. Of course, Jerry Conway writing that one. Really cool cover on that. Love that cover. Black Panther Crew number 3. Defenders number 1. Brian Michael Bendis and David Marquez on art. Of course, this is leading up to the Netflix series as well, because we saw not too long ago a trailer for that. So looks like we have good old Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist here on Defenders #1. Of course, $4.99 since it's Marvel coming up on that one. So Defenders #1 should be pretty good. I'm curious how Brian Michael Bendis writes that. Should be excellent. Gwenpool 17. Hulk is on issue 7. Kingpin 5. I thought Kingpin was a limited series, but I'm not sure on that anymore. Secret Empire 4 of 10. So, of course, Nick Spencer writing this. The Hydra logo continues to evolve in that. I've heard good things, so I'm very, very intrigued by Secret Empire. Let's see what else we have. Secret Empire United. That one being written by Jim Zub. Steve Rogers has finally brought peace to the planet, securing the borders of the land that he loves against any and all threats, and his peace will be maintained by any means necessary. So when skirmishes break out in the outskirts of mutant-controlled territory, Hydra's supreme leaders takes matter into their own hands. So there we go. Secret Empire United #1. Secret Warriors, Star Wars 32, The Screaming Citadel, Part 4 of The Screaming Citadel storyline. The Queen influence is spreading. Our only hope lies in the kindness of scoundrels. And that's of course, written by Jason Aaron with art by Salvador LaRocca. Of course, the Han Solo right there on the front when they talk about the kindness of scoundrels. So that should be interesting. I can't remember how long Screaming Citadel goes for, but it's been an interesting storyline. Squirrel Girl 21. Venom #151. So not only are we capitalizing on 150, but we're back to Venom 151, written by Mike Costa with Gerardo Sandoval on art. The Land Before Crime starts here. So we have Eddie Brock ripping open the mouth of a dinosaur. So, Stegron the Dinosaur Man. Interesting. Venom 151. X-Men Blue, Weapon X 4. Weapon X has been good. I read 2 of those. Greg Pak, Greg Land. Very, very intriguing on that one. I like that one. You see Domino and all kinds of people running around the background on that one. So, Prelude to Weapons of Mutant Destruction. So they got a big overarching story they're working on there. Yeah, so the big things, of course, in Marvel, Secret Empire and all of its offshoots doing their thing there. Defenders #1, the big one coming out, the new one coming out this week from Marvel. On the Wolverine, like I said, something I've been reading intrigues me. Star Wars 32 continuing its Screaming Citadel, so neat stuff there. Any of the traction from Venom 150 they're continuing to capitalize on with 151, and of course Drew's Vision Director's Cuts coming out, $7. Vision Director's Cut #1. All right, we can look a little bit into our back half. Let's see if I can dig anything out of here without Drew to help me out. Of course, I've heard a lot about Amerikarate, the Odd Action Labs Danger Zone comic coming out. It seems like quite a fun little romp. So it's on issue #4, continuing to sell very, very well. At least the first 2 issues. I did not see if we sold through on issue #3. Let's see, Betty and Veronica by Adam Hughes, #3 on that one. Let's see, what is Catalyst Prime XL #1? Of course, Lion Forge comic. Joe Casey writing. Young man living in the speed life after gaining powers from exposure to an extraterrestrial object becomes a rapid action superhero called the XL. So we have an independent version of kind of the Flash. So very, very interesting there. Joe Casey writing that. So yeah, that's an interesting one from Lion Forge for $3.99. Definitely something I'm going to look into because it will have a lower print run, very low print run. Let's see, The Damned #2. Cinema Purgatoria, continuing on. God Shaper number 3. That's been a very interesting book from Boom Studios. Of course, Simon Spurrier writing that one. Grass Kings number 4. Of course, that's also Brian Wood, I believe. No, I'm sorry, Matt Kent on Grass Kings number 4. Interesting cover B on that as well. Let's see. Hatch 0. Jimmy's Bastards number 1 from Aftershock comic. That's right. So Aftershock continuing. This is Jimmy's Bastards number 1 from Garth Ennis, a new series. Jimmy Regent, Britain's number 1 super spy, has got it all: intrigue, adventure, a license to shoot whoever he likes, and beautiful women falling at his feet. He also has a new partner who isn't quite as impressed by Jimmy as all other women appear to be. Now there's a price to pay for Jimmy's multiple romantic conquests, these results of which are about to come calling in the worst possible way. From the creator and writer of Preacher and The Boys comes the brand new series that had to be told at Aftershock Comics. So Garth Ennis, Jimmy's Bastards, from Garth Ennis. This sounds familiar. Jimmy, based on the title and the super spy, it sounds like his multiple trysts created children who are now coming back for revenge, which I believe is a storyline we read earlier a couple years ago. So that's very intriguing that's same thing kind of coming back. But from Aftershock, we'll check it out. Kid Sherlock number 1 from Action Labs, very all-agey, written by Justin Phillips. Let's see here. Misfit City, Mother Russia number 1 of 3 from Alterna Comics. That's, of course, $1.50. Drew's interested in these ones. One baby, one rifle, 2 million zombies. Well, that sounds pretty intriguing, actually. You had me there. Normandy Gold number 1 from Titan Comics, Allison Galen and Megan Abbott. When her younger sister is found at the center of a brutal murder case, tough as nails sheriff Normandy Gold is forced to dive headfirst into the seedy world from 1970s prostitution. Titan Comics, Normandy Gold number 1, written by Allison Galen and Megan Abbott. Planet of the Apes, Green Lantern, Persona, Reich, Slasher 2, Sovereigns coming out with its second one. Which one was Sovereigns? I did not read the first one on that one. The Ray Fawkes Dynamite comic. Tekken 2 for you fighting people. Trespasser number 1 of 4, another one of those Alterna comics from Justin Ryan and Christian Rossi. That one's intriguing. After a devastating war ruins the air and food supply for most of the world, Hector and his daughter Maria struggle to survive, but when a strange visitor crash lands in the forest, Hector will go unspeakable lengths to protect his child. And these, of course, printed on newsprint for just $1.50. Alright. That looks like everything I've got from the back half. Some interesting. So this is where we talk about our sneak peek of the week, our one book to go to your LCSs and make sure you snag up. What is that one thing to do? Of course, from the back half, I'm intrigued by Lion Forge's Catalyst Prime XL number 1. That one just kind of flowed off the tip of my tongue. For Marvel, Defenders number 1 could be good. Of course, like I said, written by Brian Michael Bendis, so if you're into that, check him out there. Of course, Secret Empire continuing to run on, and of course, Secret Empire United number 1 coming from there. From Image, of course, we talked about. I'm not really going to be jumping into the big Bitch Planet triple feature much, but I think Kill the Minotaur, both that and Winnebago Graveyard are worth snagging an issue up and seeing what we have there, because they could be pretty good things coming out of there. Of course, nothing in IDW. DC Comics, the big thing, Dark Days, The Forge, #1, $4.99. A big, fun, epic story from Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV. Cover by Jim Lee, and we've got a Kubert cover as well, it looks like, and a Ramita cover. So have fun in that one, and that one is going to be a big one, which I see a big print run on, but a lot of fun coming out of that. And of course from Dark Horse, if you're into Briggsland, and even if you're not Briggsland, Lone Wolves #1 coming. Of course, it's a series on AMC being touted, so don't miss out on that one. And it's even got a variant on that one that seems pretty rad as well. So plenty of reasons to go out to your LCSs, plenty of reasons to venture out June 14th, 2017, and find all kinds of books. Again, we apologize. It's just me this week. Drew is out on vacation, but I didn't want you guys to miss out. I wanted to at least run you through what's coming out in your local comic book shops, the things that intrigue me, the things that I think you need to be on the boat for. So thank you for joining me here for episode 382 for Comics for Fun and Profit. Feel free to look us up on social medias. We've got our Twitters, our Facebooks, Gmail accounts. All that can be found at comicsfunprofit.com. If I missed something this week, feel free to fire something off and tell me what I missed. The big books this week that I wasn't on, or just ran past. Or if you don't think there's going to be anything whatsoever to Briggsland, you don't think there's going to be anything whatsoever to Dark Days, The Forge from DC, let me know and we can have a conversation about that, because I'm very much intrigued. Or if you are just like, Kyle, I cannot believe you missed out on Martian Manhunter, Marvin the Martian special #1, let me know and we will figure that out going forward. I want to thank you once again for joining just me for episode number 382. So for not Drew but just myself, see ya.